I'll be dogged. The kid's getting a driver license, huh? Whoa! Clear the roads! Hee-haw! Seriously though, it's scary stuff. Your new driver hurtling down the highway, to say nothing of all the new costs you may be facing. Hoo-wee! But really, look at the statistics. Drivers between the ages of 15 and 19 are much more likely to experience a collision. You don't want that. I don't want that. Heck, the state of Texas doesn't want that. And that's why states nationwide have adopted graduated driver licensing regulations. I know, it sounds complicated, but don't worry. I'm here to help. Welcome to Graduated Driver Licensing Made Simple. Now, each state has its own set of specific rules and regulations. But today, we're taking a look at the great state of Texas. Meet Daniel and his mom, Kay. They're about to start on the great adventure of the GDL. Daniel turned 15 today and has completed the first 6 hours of driver education. In Texas, this means he's eligible to apply for his learner's permit. He and his mom have even spent time together studying this year's Texas Driver's Handbook, discussing safe driving behaviors, and setting some house rules. All they have to do now is head down to the local Department of Public Safety, where he'll take the written driver's exam. A handful of harrowing questions later, Daniel is a proud learner permit recipient. So what now? Now the intermediate phase of the GDL begins. Daniel needs to complete his driver education course, which includes an additional 30 hours of supervised behind-the-wheel instruction, 10 of which have to be at night, with Kay, a driving school, or another licensed driver over the age of 21. The supervised driving period is really important because it gives experienced drivers a chance to make sure that their protege is learning excellent safety practices behind the wheel. Now that he's got his permit, Daniel needs to spend at least 6 months working on his driving abilities under his mom's watchful eye. After 6 months of practice, and once he turns 16, he'll be able to move on to the next phase. Meet Amanda and her dad, Jason. Amanda is 16 years old and just spent the last 6 months learning Dad's best tips and tricks for how to pull off the perfect parallel parking job, among other vital rules of the road. She's now ready to embark on that vital rite of passage, the road test. They will head over to the DPS, where Amanda will show off her shiny new driving skills. Passing her road test, she'll now enter the intermediate stage of the GDL. Amanda will finally be able to strike out on her own in that brand new Mercedes. Yeah, or whatever. She may be allowed to drive solo, but there are still safety restrictions on her provisional license. These restrictions are meant to protect teen drivers from potentially dangerous situations and distractions on the road. Until she turns 18, she can't drive between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. unless for school, work, or medical emergency. No driving with more than one passenger under the age of 21 unless accompanied by a licensed adult age 21 or older. And finally, until the age of 18, no wireless communication devices can be used, hands-free or not, unless for an emergency. Amanda knows it's important to stay alert and aware while she's driving, because Texas law has specific provisions for intermediate drivers. Repeated accidents or injuries caused by drivers with a provisional license carry fines and can even result in their license being suspended or revoked. After she turns 18, the state's GDL restrictions will be lifted. Congratulations! At this point, Amanda is a fully licensed, unrestricted, ready-to-go driving machine. Of course, Jason makes sure to let her know that having an unrestricted license doesn't give her complete freedom of the road. Unsafe driving, cell phone use, alcohol consumption, and traffic regulations are just a few of the things young drivers need to stay responsible about as they embark on the trip from learner to pro. So, let's recap. At age 15, a Texan is old enough to apply for a learner permit. He or she must be enrolled in driver education, with the first 6 hours completed. At the DPS, the ready student will take the written driver exam, which must be passed to receive a learner permit. During the next 6 months, and at age 16, the new driver must have completed driver education, have 30 hours of supervised driving time, 10 of which must be at night. Agreed to set house rules, and reviewed the Texas Driver Handbook. Now, the road test. With a passing score, a provisional license is issued. The new driver no longer needs supervision, but some restrictions will stay in place, like not having more than one passenger under age 21 without supervision, and no driving between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m., unless for work, school, or emergency. Restrictions on wireless communication devices, hands-free or not, stay in place until the age of 18. After turning 18, the Texas GDL curfew and passenger restriction regulations will be lifted. Hopefully, this handy guide has helped you make sense of the ins and outs of graduated driver licensing. For more information and specific rules for other states, check out t-drive.com and allstatefoundation.org/teen-driving and teendriving.nsc.org. Happy driving!